Dear Love Bug, that's what Grandma Janet would have called you. Your Grandma Janet was a free-spirited, fun-loving, and active lady that would have just loved you to pieces. Your Grandma Janet was the oldest of 8 children, so she was really great at watching out for others. In fact, she even drew strength from being a role model to her 4 brothers and 3 sisters. And she always encouraged her great-grandma Joanne and Grandpa Gil. Grandma Janet loved life and took on every day with a smile and lots of energy. Grandma Janet and Grandpa Pat bought a business in Waynesville and were so excited to see their dream of owning their own business come true. As the business began to run smoothly, the next step was to build their dream home in Waynesville. In addition to building of the home, Grandma Janet and Grandpa Pat were helping Mommy plan the storybook wedding I had always dreamed of. Life couldn't have been any better for Grandma Janet.
Michael was kind of a lost soul. He had issues with family members, and so he was really a loner. On top of that, his house burnt 6 years ago, and so he converted his garage into a space that was livable, but really minimal. And after talking to him for a while, we found out that the only thing he really wanted that he did not have was a pair of glasses so that he could see again. He hadn't had glasses since the house fire. So he was one of those that just kind of grabbed your heart, and you thought, you know, we got to do something for this guy. Oh, when we told Michael he'd get new glasses, he was pretty excited. He thought that was pretty amazing. Our hospice patients don't have a lot of control over things in their lives, and this gave him something that he could have control over. Well, I'm pretty sure I know what Michael would want to say if he was still with us, because he said it before he died. He just thought it was amazing. He could see clearly, and he really didn't know anybody in Janet's family. He didn't understand why Janet's wish would do this for him, but he was very appreciative.
Well, Grandma Janet started a pesky cough, and it just never seemed to go away. Well, none of the family really got overly worried about it, because she was always so hardworking and so happy. The family got a little bit sidetracked with your great Aunt Charlie's health issues. She was diagnosed with an enlarged heart in her 20s. Well, great Aunt Charlie went on the organ transplant list, and we prayed a lot. As we waited for news on a heart for your great Aunt Charlie, your Grandma Janet stayed right by Auntie Charlie's side. She was always encouraging her. Well, one day, Grandma Janet started coughing up blood. Your Aunt Nurse Gina had Grandma Janet go to the ER. After lots of tests, Grandma Janet was told by her doctors that she had stage 4 lung cancer, and then a very rough and very rocky road ahead that began for Grandma Janet. Grandma Janet was a superhero. She fought cancer hard. Grandma Janet lost all her hair because of her chemo. But we all wore funny hats to Thanksgiving, so Grandma Janet wouldn't feel sad. Grandma Janet felt super sad when her name had to be removed from the organ donor list. Well, all this time, Aunt Charlie wasn't doing good at all. Everyone tried to divide their time between 2 different cities where the 2 terminally ill sisters were in the hospital.
Growing up with an older sister was somebody to look up to at all times. She, you know, was the cool sister that we got to go and we idolized the room and all of that good stuff that she always had. So being the little sister was fun. We did a lot of things, and you know, we just had a great relationship.
My mom is special because of her persistence and her patience. I know that I tested her patience multiple times, and she always pulled through.
She liked to sit down and watch videos with me that she didn't like at all and stuff. And she would let me listen to the music that I liked.
Christmas was coming. Jessica was getting way sicker. People stepped in to do things that I would never have thought of, such as Janet's wish. Things that were not on my mind, then other people seemed to take care of.
Janet's Wish gave me a gold necklace with my mom's birthstone on it.
Janet's Wish provided me with this silver ring with my mom's birthstone, which is topaz, and it's special to me because it always reminds me of her fight, and it reminds me of how other people would help to provide a peaceful place in a distressful time.
Aunt Charlie, she was hanging in there. But then we got some very bad news on Grandma Janet. Her cancer moved to her breast, but that didn't stop Grandma Janet. She took her wooden rosary with her during the MR testing every time she had to go. I was worried about Grandma Janet's health, and I moved up and scaled back the wedding to Daddy. I'll never forget what a wonderful time Grandma Janet had at the wedding and the reception. She danced the night away. Everyone kept encouraging Grandma Janet, and then we got our miracle. Your great Aunt Charlie got her heart, and she started the long recovery process. Oh, Grandma Janet was so excited. She was so happy for great Aunt Charlie. Shortly after the heart transplant, Grandma Janet learned the cancer had moved to her brain. Grandma Janet knew her journey was soon to end. She gathered the family together and she shared her big dream. Grandma Janet's wish was to create a fund that would help patients and their families purchase things that gave them meaning, purpose, and comforts. Whether it was a trip to the beauty shop or gas cards or anything for their pet, the list just went on and on. Grandma Janet never stopped caring for others. A tiny seed was planted in our hearts before Grandma Janet passed away, and it took root and grew in the hearts of our whole family. Your whole family was determined to make Grandma Janet's dream a reality.
Well, she was just Kay, and she'd help anybody, and I never heard her complain all the time she was sick.
Well, I used to go everywhere with her, and we used to take walks with her. The thing she loves about her yard is the flowers and trees.
Yeah, she loved to sit out in the porch swing and just look around, and she loved to walk around and look at the flowers. And she'd walk around, just take walks around the place as long as she could.
She'd wish that she would stay until my 9th birthday.
She died on Kylie's birthday. The chaplain brought the tree down. He called me one day and asked her what her favorite tree was. And I told him ornamental pear, and that's what it was. Me and Kylie planted it the day he brought it down. And Kay really loved it.
I helped planting it, and I dug it, and when I got dirt on my nose, my grandma used to laugh so hard.
She was surprised, and she really liked it. We've got a picture of her standing.
Stand tall and proud. Go out on a limb. Remember your roots. Drink plenty of water. Be content with your natural beauty.
Well, Grandma Janet passed away, and she's in heaven, but we know the seed that was planted. Always remember, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant, a time to uproot. A time to weep and a time to laugh. And a time to mourn and a time to dance.
Every time I go around the tree, we think of Kay and how much she loved it. She told me before she died to be sure to thank hospice and Janet's Wish for making everything possible. They really took good care of Kay.
On behalf of our family, we just really like to thank Janet's Wish and the people that made the proceeds for Janet's Wish possible. in a time that was very trying, in a family that's rather large, they were able to reach out to not only my sister's children, but to my mom, and take a burden off of her as far as picking Christmas gifts and things that would have meaning at a time that none of us really felt like doing anything. So we really want to thank Janet's Wish and the founders that helped fund that, and just, we thank you.
Well, I think Janet really figured it out when she decided that there were people that didn't have life that was very normal, that they didn't have the resources that others had, and that to give some small gift to make their life a little more normal was huge in this process of hospice and losing control over your life and so forth. So I think it's a wonderful thing. I think it's a wonderful organization. I'm honored to be associated with them, and I've been pleased to be able to deliver the gifts to the families and to see the appreciation and the overwhelming joy that they have when they have life a little more normal.